All right, M218, it's that time again. So here we are looking at a new coordinate plane. It is not just the XY coordinate plane that we're used to. Now I'm adding the Z-axis. Well, what the heck is the Z-axis? The Z-axis is what takes a point and brings it off of your paper. The Z-axis is what takes your point and makes it in a 3D environment. Okay, so I want to start by pointing out that on the XY coordinate plane, we have ordered pairs. An ordered pair is x comma y. Well, an ordered triple, okay, is when I have all three axes. I have the x-axis, the y-axis, and now the z-axis. And an ordered triple, again, it's still alphabetical order. X, then y, then z. Okay, so let's see what it looks like to go ahead and graph one of these ordered triples. Let's start easy and let's plot the point 5, 2, 0. Okay, so remember what that means. That means that my x value is 5, my y value is 2, and my z value is 0. On my graph, here's what that means. So on my x-axis, I'm going to go out 5. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. On my y-axis, I'm now going to go 2. There's 1, there's 2. So I'm going to go down 5 over 2. And when I do that, I get the point right there. Okay, so just so we're on the same page, I put a couple dots in there, but again, let's see what this looks like. So how do I graph this? I start by going on the x-axis, the value of that x-coordinate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go to the right 2 because it's positive, so I'm going to go right 2. And by keeping my z value 0, I am keeping it right here on the xy plane. So remember, think of this like the corner of a room, and I will show you in class tomorrow. But the corner of a room, these are the corners where the walls meet the floor. This is the corner, if you will, between the two walls. So maybe that'll help you visualize what it is we're looking for. So this point is on the floor. This is the floor of my room right there. This is the back wall. This is the side wall. And there's my point. Okay, plot a new point, 1, 3, 0. And I'm going to go 1 on the x-axis and then over 3. Okay, so looking at my new coordinates, I went 1 and then over 3. I still kept it out of the third plane here. I'm still keeping it on the floor, if you will. Are you ready to take that point off the floor? Okay, so let's start easy. 0, 0, 3 is 0 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis, so I'm still here at the origin, and I'm now going to go up 3. So if this is the corner of the room, I'm going up the walls a distance of 3. Okay, there's my point. But what if it's not 0 and 0? What if these had numbers too? Okay, so here we go. I want to graph the point 2, 5, 3. So that is 2 in the x direction. That is 5 in the y direction. And then that is 3 up. So how do I take a 3D graph and have a point that's not on the xy plane? How do I make it look like it's up off of the plane? Okay, so take a look what I've done. I have put a grid, if you will, across the floor. Okay, what do I mean by floor? I mean the XY plane. So I've just kind of filled in the graph, and that's going to help me make this more 3D. Now, you do not have to do this. I personally like it. I've seen people who've gridded the back wall, okay, who've gridded the side wall. So here's the key with these. Every single line I graph has to be parallel to either the x-axis, the y-axis, or the z-axis. So what I'm going to do next with this point, that same rule still holds. Okay, so to plot this point, I'm going to start by plotting these 3 points first. So look what I've done. I've taken the x value of 2 and I've turned the other ones to 0. So I have the point 2, 0, 0. Okay, I've taken the 5 and I've turned the other 2 coordinates into 0. So my ordered triple is 0, 5, 0. And I'm going to do the same thing for z, 0, 0, 3. So give me a second and I'm going to plot those points. Okay, so working with these 3 points, here's my first point, my second point, my third point. I am now going to construct a rectangular prism. Okay, so back side of the prism is built, right? It's a rectangular prism. Okay, next I'm going to draw the floor. Okay, so the two sides of my prism that I have the back wall and I have the floor of the prism. I need to construct the rest of the rectangular prism. Okay, so look how this looks. Here is my rectangular prism. I started with these 3 points, but remember the whole focus was to get this point. So let's see where that point is. Okay, that is over out 2 on the x-axis, over 5 in the y direction, and then up 3. So the point is right there. And the only way to really make that point look 3D is to in fact put it in context of a prism. Okay, are you ready? So here's one for you to try. Let's see you graph the ordered triple. 4, 2, 1. Set up your axes and pause the video. So, mine's not perfect, but I think you'll be able to follow it. The point 4, 2, 1. So out on the x-axis 4, over 2 on the y direction, and up 1 in the z direction. The point I want is that point right there.